What's going on, everyone out there in YouTube land? Today we're going to check out a starter device, but I don't want to call it a starter device because then it sounds like it's only for the beginners. This one is pretty much for anyone, whether you're a beginner, new vapor, experienced vapor. Today we're going to check out the Vaporesso ORCA Solo, and it's kind of like an all-in-one pen-style device. It's not a pod system, but it's kind of like a pen style, I guess, with a tank on top. Now I do have two of them. I got them both loaded up with the same liquid, some Ruthless Grape Drink. It's a Nic Salt, believe 35 milligram. And these are mouth-to-lung devices, low-power devices, so you're going to want to use a high Nic juice. The airflow on this one, I have it opened all the way, and the airflow on this one is almost closed off. So I'm going to get two mouth-to-lung vapes, but this one's going to be much airier. This one's going to give me more of a throat hit, which will produce less vapor. Let's have a vape really quick, and we'll talk and show the ORCA Solo. Let's do the wide open one. Once again, mouth to lung. Nice flavor, very smooth. Now when we close off the airflow, this mimics a cigarette. Very, very tight airflow on this one. This one will give you a really strong throat hit, depending on the Nic level. A lot less vapor, but you can actually feel it right here, which is really, really nice. Now, the ORCA Solo, sent over directly by Vaporesso for the purpose of this review. If you guys are looking to pick one up after the video, I have a bunch of links posted in the description. Going price for one of these, which will include two coil heads, anywhere between $19.99 and $21.99. Inside the box for the ORCA Solo, you're going to get the ORCA Solo all-in-one device. They're going to toss in two coil heads to get you started. You'll get a Delrin 510 drip tip, micro USB charging cable, and your use manual. Dimensions on the ORCA, I measured 16 millimeters in diameter. From the bottom to the top of the drip tip, about 120 millimeters tall. It is available, I believe, in 6 different color options, and if we compare it really quickly, up against a few other devices. Let's compare it next to the Bow, very popular pod system. You'll see that it's about the same height actually as the Bow, and the ORCA is actually very comparable to the Joytech Ego AIO Echo device, I believe it's called. These two devices work exactly the same, but the Vaporesso actually has a larger battery and a larger juice capacity on the tank. Now, this is an all-in-one pod system, meaning the atomizer is all one piece with the mod. You cannot use your own atomizer. You have to use what is pretty much built in there. And if you're wondering why this is moving around, it's because there's not a coil head installed. Once I install a coil head, this will screw down to the coil. At the top, they do include a very comfortable 510 Delrin drip tip, perfect for mouth-to-lung vaping. Now, if you're not a fan of the drip tip, or you have a favorite drip tip that you like to use, you can easily remove the drip tip, and you can use any 510 drip tip with no problem. Now, we have the cage that goes around the glass, and what I like about that is if you drop it, you're not going to end up breaking the glass. So what you're going to do to get this thing started is just slide off the tank protector or cage. The glass tank is held on with an O-ring. Now, this glass tank will hold 1.5 mLs of liquid, and you'll get about 190 vapes off a full tank. So go ahead, just pop that off. Now they're going to include two coil heads. These are the C-cell coils, and they ohm out to 1.5 ohms. And we're not going to need to prime the coil heads on this one because the coil heads are so small, you don't need to prime them. So screw your coil head in, make sure it's nice and tight, and then what you want to do is take that glass tank, pop it down, make sure it's sealed, and then once you got it sealed, you can grab your liquid. I recommend a high nicotine liquid, either Nic Salt, or let's say 18 milligrams, 26, 28 milligrams. This, I believe, is a 35 milligram. So make sure you don't get it on your hands. But what you want to do is put it on the side right there and then fill the tank. Don't put it directly in the center because you're going to end up flooding the coil. And then once it's filled, you can take the cage, pop it on, screw it down nice and tight, and this thing will not leak whatsoever. I lay it on its side overnight and never had any leaking issues. I always like to take a rag and just wipe it dry just in case I got any juice on the tank. We do have adjustable airflow control, which is also really nice. Now, this is a mouth-to-lung system, so it's going to have a tight, restricted vape, but you can open it up, or you can close it off completely and get that really tight cigarette vape. There's only one air hole on here, so they're not going to have dual air holes, but they do give you the option of tightening off the airflow, which I thought was pretty cool. Below that, we're going to have your firing switch. Going to be real easy. 5 clicks on, 5 clicks off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll see that LED light up. And that light is going to change color depending on the charge status of your battery. So if the light turns red, it's time to charge it. And then to power it off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They don't have any power ratings in the specs. They don't tell me how many volts or how many watts this device is putting out. So the battery voltage is going to dump directly on the atomizer. And then as the battery drains throughout the day, you're going to notice the voltage and the vape is going to kind of just drop until it's time to charge it. Right next to the firing switch, we got your micro USB charge port, and this one does offer 1 amp quick charging, which means it's going to charge the battery in about 45 minutes, which I thought was pretty nice. This one does use an internal 800 milliamp hour battery. Now the Joytech one that I showed you guys earlier has a smaller battery, a 650, so this one's an 800. It's going to last you a little bit longer, and aside from that, that's pretty much it. A very simple, straightforward device, perfect for a new vapor or the experienced vapor. But just keep in mind, you're going to want to use high nicotine e-liquid. And with all that said, let's jump back up and let's have a vape, shall we? So let's talk a little bit about the ORCA Solo. Now, if you are a new vapor, or if you're looking for a device for someone who's a new vapor, this right here, perfect choice. Because there's no wattage adjustment buttons, there's no menu system, no external battery, the atomizer is built directly into the device, and it's simple. Teach them how to fill it, teach them how to turn it on and off. That is all you need to know. Now, when compared to a pod system, the vape off this is going to be much more enjoyable than a pod system. You're going to get a better throat hit, you're going to get much better flavor, and you might even get more vapor production. Actually, you will get more vapor production off of one of these, depending on what you have the airflow set to, and also the fact that we have adjustable airflow on here. Now, do you want to use regular juice, or do you want to use Nic salt? Really depends on the kind of vape you're looking for. If you're looking for more flavor and a more intense throat hit, I would say stick with a regular e-liquid. Do like 18, 26, 28, 32. If you're looking for something smooth, that's satisfying, but it doesn't really give you that throat hit or that kick in the throat, then go with Nic salt. You can do like 35 milligram, 45 milligram. For me, I would rather much prefer a regular juice in here, probably 18 milligram. I usually do 3 milligram, but I would probably do 18 in here. And you can even get a throat hit off of here using Nic salt, but you have to turn the airflow all the way down. But I will say the vape off one of these is much better than a pod system. The drip tip, they do include this nice, comfortable 510 tip, and the fact that you can use your own drip tip is kind of nice. If you have like a custom glass tip you want to use, I think a device like this will prepare someone for the future of vaping to upgrade, like upgrading to another device. This kind of prepares them for it because it's kind of like a tube mod, just without any fancy features to it. Filling it up, very, very easy. Just unscrew the cage right here, and the O-ring on the glass tank is so large that you don't have to worry about this glass popping off, and just fill it up along the sides. Very simple. We got the firing switch on the front with the bright LED that will let you know the charge status of your battery, and it also is comfortable, and it's also hard for me to find it because sometimes it's a little too flush with the device, but that's just me. Micro USB port charges in under 45 minutes, and all in all, it's an awesome little mod. Not for everyone, but if you're looking for something that's simple, easy to use for a new vapor, or for something to toss in your pocket at work, or when you go out and you want to sneak a vape, this might be the perfect choice. So good job, Vaporesso. No complaints. I have nothing to complain about with this one. They did everything absolutely perfect. No leaking issues, nothing. So, delicious. That's it. That's all I got for you today on the, I always forget the name of this thing. Is it ORCA? ORCA. What does ORCA mean? I gotta Google it. But any comments or questions, you know exactly what to do. Please feel free to hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to everyone very, very soon. Make sure you guys build safe, and as always, vape on.